And this generation does not intend to founder in the backwash of the coming age of space. We mean to be a part of it. We mean to lead it. He said because it is there. Well, space is there.
Welcome to episode 14 of That Space Show. I'm your host as always, Nick. Thank you guys. Thank you. And we're going to be covering the dates May 1st all the way till May 6th. And it's a new month, so let's get straight into it. And I'd like to thank the new subs, J.O. this Sharon, KC, and Vinny. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if you want to be featured, of course, have your public subscriptions on. And I'd like to always thank these commenters. Thank you for commenting. And of course, if you want to be featured in that, go ahead and leave a comment. And now, it's kind of a short video today, so let's get straight into the astronomy. Now, today, Friday, we have the conjunction of the moon and Saturn, the close approach of the moon and Saturn, lunar occultation of Saturn, and then on Saturday, we have the close approach of the moon and Neptune, lunar occulation of Neptune, close approach of the moon and Mars, lunar occulation of Mars, and a conjunction of the moon and Mars, a lot. And then Sunday, we have a meteor shower. It's called Eta Ariquids, so if you're interested, check that out. And then we also have the moon at Perigee. And then launches. Now, these ones have already been off, so I'll show you videos if I can get the footage. We have the Falcon 9 Block 5, Roving Legion 1 and 2, the Falcon 9 Block 5, Starlink Group 6 through 55. And then, of course, we have the Long March 5, Change 6, which is going to be today at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time Zone, which I'm not going to have the footage, but we do have another one. So it's going to be later at night, the Falcon 9 Block 5, Starlink Groups 8 through 2, and that's going to be at 10:59 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. So if you're looking for a launch, I think you should go for that one. And on to astrobiology. Let's get straight into it. Now, European astronomers recently studied a faraway exoplanet named TOI 837b using special telescopes. They found that this young planet, about the size of about Saturn, has a surprisingly big core, which challenges what we know about how planets actually form. Now, this planet orbits a young star in a star cluster named IC 2602. They actually used the test satellite, and others to study this exoplanet. What's really surprising is that this planet has a core that makes up about 60% of its total mass. This challenges our idea about how planets actually form, especially because the star it orbits doesn't have a lot of heavy elements. Usually, host stars that have fewer heavy metals in them have less building blocks for cores of these planets that they form. TESS and other telescopes will definitely be monitoring this exoplanet to see if it challenges our previous theories about planet formation. And now the Euclid Space Telescope, which was launched July 1st, 2023, has a main goal of exploring dark matter and dark energy. Another one, of course, we always mention it every single episode. It's so important, isn't it? Dark matter and dark energy play crucial roles in formation and expansion of the universe. Dark matter's gravity pulls matter together to form galaxies, while dark energy pushes things apart. Now, that also affects the universe's expansion. Now, one way Euclid, the telescope, studies matter distribution is through gravitational lensing. This technique allows us to map the distribution of matter, including dark matter, and even though it's invisible, it still does it. Despite the initial noise issues of the telescope and other obstacles, it's already provided stunning images of galaxies like the Perseus cluster. With its main survey underway, Euclid is actually expected to generate a wealth of data that will benefit astronomers and the world for years to come. And more so, unraveling more mysteries of our universe. And then researchers from the University of Waterloo and the University of British Columbia have actually uncovered a potential anomaly in the universe's gravitational behavior, which they've dubbed a cosmic glitch. General relativity has been instrumental in explaining various cosmic phenomena, from the Big Bang to black holes. However, when scientists examine gravity at cosmic scales such as galaxy clusters and beyond, they encounter discrepancies with Einstein's predictions. According to the researchers, gravity appears to be around 1% weaker when dealing with distances spanning billions of light years. The researchers' team new model that they formed proposes a modification and extension of Einstein's formulas to address these discrepancies, with, of course, not undermining these successes of the general relativity in other areas. Einstein's theory struggles really to explain an observation from a professor at Waterloo, as he observed that as galaxies actually move away from each other, some approach speeds close to that of light. This new model that they've formed at Waterloo could end up making some new possibilities in understanding our universe, and at that, the expansion of it. Very cool, and on to... Let's go straight to space tech. Now, astronomers have come across a new phenomenon named odd radio circles, ORCS, or I'll call them ORCs. Massive circular radio features surrounding some galaxies whose origin was previously unknown. A recent study of one of these ORCs, nicknamed the clover leaf, suggests that it was formed by the collision of groups of galaxies. Using data from the E-Rosetta X-ray telescope, they observed X-ray emission that seemed to be associated with the cloverleaf. Analysis of the X-ray emission indicated that the galaxies within the cloverleaf are part of two separate groups that merged together, causing shock waves that actually accelerated particles and created the radio emission. Now, the X-ray spectrum suggested that the gas temperatures within the cloverleaf around 15 million degrees Fahrenheit, indicating that the involvement of about a dozen galaxies in the merger. Orcs still remain a mystery in those galaxy mergers, and some think that maybe supermassive black holes within these galaxies may have undergone extreme activity in the past, contributing to the radio emissions observed. More observations on these are needed for sure. Super cool discovery, and on to... Rest in peace to space discoveries, am I right? I mean, I found absolutely nothing. Strange enough, so I guess let's just go on to space exploration. Now, NASA has chosen 9 companies to develop concepts aimed at enhancing agency science missions to Mars. Each company will receive between $200,000 and $300,000 for preliminary work to make robotic Mars exploration more efficient and productive, which I'm sure they need, as I'm sure everyone's heard about the cost issues with all this. And the funded studies cover 4 categories: small payload delivery and hosting services, large payload delivery and hosting services, Mars surface imaging services, and next generation relay services. Now, I bet you're wondering what companies have been selected for this. Well, these include Lockheed Martin Corporation, Impulse Space, Firefly Aerospace, United Launch Services, ULA, Blue Origin, Astrobiologic Technology, Albedo Space Corporation, Redwire Space, and SpaceX. These initiatives aim to advance NASA's Mars exploration goals and could potentially contribute to future Mars sample return missions, which of course remain a top priority for the agency, as one could tell from the previous episodes, am I right?
Bruh.
And now, NASA's plans to return humans to the moon faces some hurdles. According to the report from the agency's Office of Inspector General, OIG, the report highlights issues with the Artemis 1 test flight of the Orion spacecraft, which revealed anomalies within the spacecraft's heat shield, separation bolts, and power distribution system. During re-entry to the Earth's atmosphere, over 100 areas on the Orion's heat shield wore away differently than expected. With the charred material seen flying off the spacecraft, anomalies in Orion's electrical system, believed to be caused by radiation, are also being addressed with operational workarounds. Other issues include communication loss during a deep space network outage and unexpected damage to the Artemis 1 mobile launcher. While progress is being made, verification and validation testing for upgrades and modifications are honestly taking longer than expected. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully no delays, but it's seeming that there might be so. And now NASA and SpaceX had a careful maneuver at the International Space Station as a cargo Dragon spacecraft completed its journey back to Earth with a splashdown actually at the Florida's coast. And now the cargo Dragon, part of the CRS-30 resupply mission that arrived in March, spent over 36 days attached to the International Space Station, ferrying over 4,100 pounds of science experiments and supplies. That's a lot. To make room for future missions, NASA needed to relocate this Dragon spacecraft from its parking spot. In a coordinated maneuver, the crew 8 members aboard the Crew Dragon Endeavour will perform valet duties. They will undock the Endeavour from its current spot and redock it to a different port on the International Space Station, leaving the original port open for the arrival of Boeing's CST-100 Starliner. The Crew 8's members' short journey to move the Crew Dragon Endeavour is crucial for accommodating the Starliner's arrival, temporarily increasing the International Space Station's population to 9. The Starliner's mission marks an important step in Boeing's efforts to certify its spacecraft for regular rotational missions alongside SpaceX's Crew Dragon. Very cool, and we're going to see Starliner blast off May 6th, so let's get excited for that. And on it was a short episode today. I didn't find too much, but I hope everyone has an amazing weekend. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we're posting, how many days did I hear? 3 days a week? What days? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
You serious?
No way. I mean, who doesn't want that much space news? I know I want that much space news. So, as always, thank you for watching, and remember, be bold, be original, be invincible.